Hi guys. All right, we are doing Strengths Finder 2.0. We are on 34 themes and ideas of action. Okay, doing the last 8 today, and then we'll have one more video that's just kind of recapping. I think this is it. I don't think there's an extra. Okay, so there's frequently asked questions, which we can cover, and then some links to learning more, which I'll include in that one. And then I'm going to go through the questions while I am recording it to redo mine that I haven't done for 10 years just to see if anything changed. I already know a bunch of the ones that I am pretty sure, but I'm just going to take the quiz so you guys can see it, since you can't actually use my code to take the quiz because I guess it's only good for one person. So I'm going to take the quiz out loud, tell you what I'm doing so you can check it off as well. But I don't think that's going to work because you're not going to get the results generated the way that I would. I don't know. We'll figure this out for the next one. But right now, let's just on these because there's a lot to cover today. We have 8 that we have to go through. So we're going to start with positivity. You are generous with praise, quick to smile, and always on the lookout for positive in the situation. Some call you lighthearted. Others just wish that your glass were as full as yours seems to be. Others just wish that their glass were as full as yours seems to be. But either way, people want to be around you. Their world looks better around you because your enthusiasm is contagious. Lacking your energy and optimism, some find their world drab with repetition, or worse, heavy with pressure. You seem to find a way to lighten their spirit. You inject drama into every project. You celebrate every achievement. You find ways to make everything more exciting and more vital. Some cynics may reject your energy, but you are rarely dragged down. Your positivity won't allow it. Somehow, you can't quite escape your conviction that is good to be alive, that work can be fun, and that no matter what the setbacks, one must never lose one's sense of humor. I feel like this is me, but I also have anger issues and can be very negative. So maybe this isn't me. So I'm not going to highlight it because I feel like I have a lot of strengths in here and I take a break. Okay. Positivity sounds like this. Jerry L., flight attendant. There are so many people on an airplane that I've made it a point over the years to single out 1 or 2 on a flight and make it something special for them. Certainly, I will be courteous to everybody and extend to them the kind of professionalism that I would like given to me. But over and above that, I try to make one person or family or small group of people feel particularly special with jokes and conversation and little games that I play. Andy B., internet marketing executive. I am one of those people who loves creating buzz. I read magazines all the time, and if I find something fun, some new store, new lip gloss, whatever, I charge around telling everyone about it. Oh, you just have to try this store. It's so cool. Look at these pictures. Check them out. I am so passionate when I talk about something that people just have to do what I say. It's not that I'm a great salesperson. I'm not. In fact, I hate asking for the clothes. I hate bothering people. It's just that my passion about what I say makes people think, gosh, it must be true. Sunny G, communications manager. I think the world is plagued with enough people. We need more positive people. People who like to zero in on what is right with the world. Negative people just make me feel heavy. In my last job, there was a guy who came into my office every morning just to unload on me. I would purposely dodge him. I'd see him coming and I'd run to the bathroom or go some other place. He made me feel as if the world was a miserable place, and I hated that. Ideas for action. You probably will excel in any role in which you are paid to highlight the positive. A teaching role, a sales role, an entrepreneurial role, or a leadership role will make the most of your ability to make things dramatic. You tend to be more enthusiastic and energetic than most people. When others become discouraged or are reluctant to take risks, your attitude will provide the impetus to keep them moving. Over time, others will start to look to you for this lift. Plan highlight activities for your friends and colleagues. For example, find ways to turn small achievements into events. Plan regular celebrations that others can look forward to or capitalize on the year's holidays and festivals. Explain that your enthusiasm is not simply naivety. Whatever. You know that bad things can happen. You simply prefer to focus on the good things. You may get your greatest joy by encouraging people. Freely show your appreciation of others and make sure that the praise is not vague. Consistently seek to translate your feelings into specific, tangible, and personal expressions of gratitude and recognition. As you share your positivity talents, be sure to protect and nurture them. As necessary, insulate yourself from chronic whiners and complainers and intentionally spend time in highly positive environments that will invigorate and feed your optimism. Don't pretend that difficulties don't concern you. Other people need to know that while you find the good in virtually every situation, you are not naive. Recognize challenges and communicate the reasons for your optimism. Your positive approach will be most powerful when others realize it is grounded in reality. Because people will rely on you to help them rise above their daily frustrations, arm yourself with good stories, jokes, and sayings. Never underestimate the impact that you can have on people. Avoid negative people. They will bring you down. Instead, seek people who find the same kind of drama and humor in the world that you do. You will energize each other. Deliberately help others see the things that are going well for them. You can keep their eyes on the positive. Working with others who have positivity. This person brings drama and energy to the workplace. He will make your organization more positive and dynamic. The positivity theme doesn't imply that this person is always in a good mood, but it does imply that through his humor and attitude, he can make people more excited about their work. Remind him of this strength and encourage him to use it. Cynics will quickly sap this person's energy. Don't expect him to enjoy cheering up negative people. He will do better when asked to energize basically positive people who are simply in need of a spark. Relator. Relator describes your attitude toward your relationships. In simple terms, the relator theme pulls you toward people you already know. You do not necessarily shy away from meeting new people. In fact, you may have other themes that cause you to enjoy the thrill of turning strangers into friends. But you do derive a great deal of pleasure and strength from being around your close friends. You are comfortable with intimacy. Once the initial connection has been made, you deliberately encourage a deepening of the relationship. You want to understand their feelings, their goals, their fears, and dreams, and you want them to understand yours. You know that this kind of closeness implies a certain amount of risk. You might be taken advantage of, but you are willing to accept that risk. For you, a relationship has value only if it is genuine. And the only way to know that is to entrust yourself to the other person. The more you share with each other, the more you risk together. The more you risk together, the more each of you proves your caring is genuine. These are your steps toward real friendships, and you take them willingly. Relator sounds like this. Jamie T, entrepreneur, I'm definitely selective about my relationships. When I first meet people, I don't want to give them very much of my time. I don't know them, they don't know me, so let's just be pleasant and leave it at that. But if circumstances make it so that we get to know each other better, it seems like a threshold is reached where I suddenly start wanting to invest more. I'll share more of myself, put myself out for them, do things for them that will bring us a little closer and show that I care. It's funny because I'm not looking for any more friends in my life. I have enough. And yet, with each new person I meet, as soon as that threshold is reached, I feel compelled to go deeper. Now I have 10 people working for me, and I would call each of them my very good friend. Gavin T, flight attendant. I have many wonderful acquaintances, but as for true friends that I hold dear, not very many. And I'm real okay with that. My best friends are spent with the people I'm tightest with, like my family. We are a very tight-knit Irish Catholic family, and we get together every chance we can. It's a large family. I have 5 brothers and sisters and 10 nieces and nephews, but we all get together about once a month and yuck it up. I'm the catalyst. When I'm back in Chicago, even if there is no birthday or anniversary or whatever, I become the excuse for getting together and hanging out for 3 or 4 days. We really enjoy one another's company. Tony D, pilot. I used to fly in the Marines, and boy, you had better be comfortable with the word friend in the Marines. You had better feel good about trusting someone else. I can't tell you how many times I put my life in someone else's hands. I was flying off my friend's wing, and I'd be dead if he couldn't get me back safely. Ideas for action. Find a workplace in which friendships are encouraged. You will do well in an overly formal organization. In job interviews, ask about work styles and company culture. Deliberately learn as much as you can about the people you like knowing about people, and other people like being known. By doing this, you will act as a catalyst for trusting relationships. Let it be known that you are more interested in character and personality of others than in their status or job title. This is one of your greatest talents and can serve as a model for others. Let your caring show. For example, find people your company to mentor, help your colleagues get to know each other better, or extend your relationships beyond the office. No matter how busy you are, stay in contact with your friends. They are your fuel. Okay, I feel like this one's me. Okay, be honest with your friends. True caring means helping the other person be successful and fulfilled. Giving honest feedback or encouraging your friend to move out of a role in which he or she is struggling is a compassionate act. You probably prefer to be seen as a person, an equal, or a friend, rather than a function, a superior, or a title. Let people know what they can address you by your first name rather than formally. You might tend to withhold the most engaging aspects of your personality until you have sensed openness from another person. Remember, building relationships is not a one-way street. Proactively put yourself out there. Others will quickly see you for the genuine individual you are, and you will create many more opportunities to cultivate strong, long-lasting connections. Make time for family and close friends. You need to spend quality moments with those you love in order to feed your realtor talents. Schedule activities that allow you to get even closer to the people who keep you grounded and happy. Make an effort to socialize with your colleagues and team members outside of work. It can be as simple as lunch or coffee together. This will help you forge more connected relationships at work, which in turn can facilitate more effective teamwork and cooperation. Working with others who have a Relator. This person enjoys developing genuine bonds with her colleagues. These relationships take time to build, so you must invest in them on a regular basis. Tell this person directly that you care about her. More than likely, this language will not sound inappropriate and will be welcomed by her. She organizes her life around her close relationships, so she will want to know where she stands with you. Trust this person with confidential information. She is loyal, places a high value on trust, and will not betray yours. Responsibility. Your responsibility theme forces you to take psychological ownership for anything you commit to, and whether large or small, you feel emotionally bound to follow it through to completion. Your good name depends on it. If for some reason you cannot deliver, you automatically start to look for ways to make it up to the other person. Apologies are not enough. Excuses and rationalizations are totally unacceptable. You will not quite be able to live with yourself until you have made restitution. This conscientiousness, near obsession for doing things right, and your impeccable ethics combine to create your reputation. Utterly dependable. When assigning a new responsibilities, people will look to you first because they know it will get done. When people come to you for help, and they soon will, you must be selective. Your willingness to volunteer may sometimes lead you to take on more than you should. Responsibility sounds like this. Kelly G, operations manager. The country manager in Sweden called me in November and said, Kelly, could you please not ship my inventory until January 1? I said, sure, sounds like a good plan. I told my people about the plan and thought I had all the bases covered. On December 31, however, when I was checking my messages while on a ski slope, making sure everything was hunky-dory, I saw that his order had already shipped and invoiced. I had to call immediately and tell him what happened. He's a nice man, so he didn't use any four-letter words, but he was very angry and very disappointed. I felt terrible. An apology wasn't enough. I needed to fix it. I called our controller from the chalet, and that afternoon, we figured out a way to put the value of his inventory back on our books and clean it off his. It took most of the weekend, but it was the right thing to do. Nigel T, sales executive. I used to think that there was a piece of metal in my hand and a magnet on the ceiling. I would just volunteer for everything. I have had to learn how to manage that because not only would I end up with too much on my plate, but I would also wind up thinking that everything was my fault. I realize now I can't be responsible for everything in the world. That's God's job. Harry B, outplacement consultant. I was just a young bank manager in one of the branches when the president of the company decided that he wanted to foreclose on a property. I said, that's fine, but we have a responsibility to give the people full value for their property. He didn't see it that way. He wanted to sell the property to a friend of his for what was owed. And he said, my problem was that I couldn't separate my business ethics from my personal ethics. I told him that was correct. I couldn't because I didn't believe and still don't believe that you can have two standards. So I quit the firm and went back to earning $5 an hour working for the forestry service, picking up trash. Since my wife and I were trying to support our two kids and make ends meet, it was a hard decision for me to make. But looking back on one level, it really wasn't hard at all. I simply couldn't function in an organization with those kinds of ethics. Ideas for action. Emphasize your sense of responsibility when job hunting. During interviews, describe your desire to be held fully accountable for the success or failures of projects, your intense dislike of finished work, and your need to make it right if a commitment is not met. Keep volunteering for more responsibility than your experience seems to warrant. You thrive on responsibility and you can deal with it very effectively. Align yourself with others who share your sense of responsibility. You will flourish when working with people who share your determination to get things done. Tell your manager that you work best when given the freedom to follow through on your commitments, that you don't need to check in during a project just at the end. You can be trusted to get it done. Push yourself to say no because you are instinctively responsible. It might sometimes be difficult to refuse opportunities. For this reason, you must be selective. Ask for more responsibility in only the areas that matter most to you. You naturally take ownership for every project you are involved in. Make sure that your capacity to own does not keep you from sharing responsibility. Allow others the opportunity to experience the challenges of ownership. In doing so, you will contribute to their growth and development. Learn to manage your responsibility talents by considering whether you really are the person who should be handling a particular issue. Defer to your existing responsibilities and goals before undertaking additional burdens, as you may end up skimping on quality if you have too many tasks or competing demands. Partner with someone especially talented in discipline or focus. This person can help you stay on track and prevent you from becoming overloaded. Working with a like-minded, responsible colleague is satisfying for you. Be sure to clarify expectations and boundaries so that each person can feel ownership for his or her particular tasks. Without stepping on each other's toes, the responsible individuals like to know they have delivered on their commitments, so create metrics and goals to gauge how effectively you meet your obligations. Also, make sure you have explicit and concrete expectations so that there is no question regarding quality outcomes and so that you can hit the mark as promised. Working with others who have responsibility. This person defines himself by his ability to live up to his commitments. It will be intensely frustrating for him to work with people who don't. This person dislikes sacrificing quality for speed, so be careful not to rush him. In discussing his work, talk about its quality first. Help this person avoid taking on too much, particularly if he is lacking in discipline, talents. Help him see that one more burden may result in his dropping the ball, a notion he will loathe. Restorative. You love to solve problems. Whereas some are dismayed when they encounter yet another breakdown, you can be energized by it. You enjoy the challenge of analyzing the symptoms, identifying what is wrong, and finding the solution. You may refer practical problems or conceptual ones or personal ones. You may seek out specific kinds of problems that you have met many times before and that you are confident you can fix. Or you may feel the greatest push when faced with complex and unfamiliar problems. Your exact preferences are determined by your other themes and experiences. But what is certain is that you enjoy bringing things back to life. It is a wonderful feeling to identify the undermining factor, eradicate them, and restore something to its true glory. Intuitively, you know that without your intervention, this thing, this machine, this technique, this person, this company might have ceased to function. You fixed it, resuscitated it, rekindled its vitality. Phrasing it that way you saved it. Phrasing it the way you saved it. Why does that still not make sense to me? Okay, restorative sounds like this. Nigel L., software designer. I have these vivid memories of my childhood woodworking bench with hammers and nails and wood. I used to love fixing things and putting things together and making everything just so. And now with computer programs, it's the same thing. You write the program, and if it doesn't work, you have to go back and redo it and fix it until it works. Jan K., internist. This theme plays in my life in so many ways. For example, my first love was surgery. I love trauma, love being in the OR, love sewing. I just love fixing things in the OR. Then again, some of my best moments have been sitting at the bedside of a dying patient, just talking together. It is incredibly rewarding to watch someone make the transition from anger to acceptance about grief, to tie up loose ends with family members, and to pass with dignity. And then when with my kids, this theme fires every day. When I see my 3-year-old buttoning her sweater for the first time and she buttons it crooked, I feel this powerful urge to walk up and rebutton the sweater. I have to resist, of course, because she has to learn. But boy, it's really hard. Marie T., television producer. Producing a morning TV program is a fundamentally clumsy process. If I didn't like solving problems, this job would drive me up the wall. Every day, something serious goes wrong, and I have to find the problem, fix it, and move on to the next one. If I can do that well, I feel rejuvenated. On the other hand, if I go home and a problem remains unsolved, then I feel the opposite. I feel defeated. Ideas for action. Seek roles in which you are paid to solve problems or in which your success depends on your ability to restore and resolve. You might particularly enjoy roles in medicine, consulting, computer programming, or customer service. Don't be afraid to let others know that you enjoy fixing problems. It comes naturally to you, but many people shy away from problems you can help. Give yourself a break. Your restorative talents might lead you to be overly self critical. Try to redirect this either toward things about yourself that can be fixed, such as knowledge or skill deficits, or toward external tangible problems. Let other people solve their own problems. You might want to rush in and solve things for them, but by doing that, you might hinder their learning. Watch out for this, particularly if you are in a manager, coach, teacher, or parent role. Turnaround situations activate your natural forte. Use your restorative talents to devise a plan of attack to revitalize a flagging project, organization, business, or team. Leverage your restorative talents not only to tackle existing problems, but also to anticipate and prevent problems before they occur. Share your foresight and your solutions with others, and you will prove yourself a valuable partner. Study your chosen subject closely to become adept at identifying what causes certain problems to recur. This sort of expertise will lead to the solution that much faster. Think about ways you can improve your skills and knowledge. Identify any gaps you have and the courses you can take to fill them. Constant improvement is one of your hallmarks. Seek opportunities. Hey, cat and dog fight. Okay, constant improvement is one of your hallmarks. Seek opportunities to enhance your abilities through a demanding field, activity, or endeavor that requires exceptional skill and or knowledge. Use your restorative talents to think of ways to problem-proof your work. Identify existing and potential issues, and design systems or processes to prevent errors in the future. Working with others who have restorative. Ask this person for her observations when you want to identify a problem within your organization. Her insights will be particularly acute. When a situation in your organization needs immediate improvement, turn to this person for help. She will not panic. Instead, she will respond in a focused, professional way. Offer your support when this person meets a particularly thorny problem because she defines herself by her ability to cope. She may well feel personally defeated if a problem remains unsolved. Help her through it. Self assurance. Self assurance is similar to self confidence. In the deepest part of you, you have faith in your strengths. You know that you are able to take risks, able to meet new challenges, able to stake claims, and most important, able to deliver. But self assurance is more than just self confidence. Blessed with the theme of self assurance, you have confidence not only in your abilities, but in your judgment. When you look at the world, you know that your perspective is unique and distinct. And because no one sees exactly what you see, you know that no one can make your decision for you. No one can tell you what to think. They can guide, they can suggest, but you alone have the authority to form conclusions, make decisions, and act. This authority, this final accountability for the living of your life, does not intimidate you. On the contrary, it feels natural to you. No matter what the situation, you seem to know what the right decision is. This theme lends you an aura of certainty. Aura of certainty. Unlike many, you are not easily swayed by someone else's arguments. No matter how persuasive they may be, this self assurance may be quiet or loud, depending on your other themes, but it is solid. It is strong like the keel of a ship. It withstands many different pressures and keeps you on your course. Self assurance sounds like this. Pam D., public service executive. I was raised on a remote farm in Idaho and I attended a small rural school. One day, I returned home from school and announced to my mother that I was changing schools. Earlier in the day, my teacher had explained that our school had too many kids and that 3 kids would have to move to a different school. I thought about it for a moment, I liked the idea of meeting new people and decided I would be one of them. Even though it meant getting up half an hour earlier and traveling farther on the bus. I was 5 years old. James K., salesman. I never second guess myself whether I am buying a birthday present or a house when I make my decision. It feels to me as if I had no choice. There was only one decision to make, and I made it. It's easy for me to sleep at night, but my gut is final, loud, and very persuasive. Deborah C., ER nurse. If we have a death in the ER, people call on me to deal with the family because of my confidence. Just yesterday, we had a problem with a young psychotic girl who was screaming that the devil was inside her. The other nurses were afraid, but I knew what to do. I went in and I said, Kate, come on, lie back. Let's say the Barak. It's a Jewish prayer. It goes like this: Barak atah Adonai Elohe melech halom. She responded, say it slowly so that I can say it back to you. I did, and then she said it back to me slowly. She wasn't Jewish, but this calm came over her. She dropped back against her pillow and said, thank you. That is all I needed. Ideas for action. Look for startup situations for which no rule book exists. You will be at your best when you are asked to make decisions. Seek roles in which you convince people to see your point of view. Your self-assurance talents, especially when combined with command or activator talents, can be extremely persuasive. Leadership, sales, legal, or entrepreneurial roles might suit you. Let your self-confidence show. It can be contagious and will help the people around you grow. Realize that sometimes you will find it hard to put your certainty or intuition into words, possibly leading others to see you as self-righteous. Explain that your confidence does not mean that they should withhold their opinions. It might not seem like it to them, but you do want to hear their ideas. Your conviction doesn't mean that you are unwilling to listen to them. Your independent streak can leave you standing alone. If this happens, make sure you are out in front or partner with someone who can help others see how they can benefit from following you. Partner with someone with strong strategic, deliberative, or futuristic talents. This person can help you assess the goals to which you commit. You need this help because once you set your sights on a goal, you are likely to stay with it until you achieve it. Your exceptionally hard work and long hours are natural products of the passion and confidence you feel about your work. Don't assume that others are similarly wired. You can be decisive even when things get dynamic and distracting. When there is chaos around you, intentionally display and share the calm and certainty within you. This will give others comfort and security. Set ambitious goals. Don't hesitate to reach for what others see as impractical and impossible, but what you see as merely bold and exciting, and most importantly, achievable with some heroics and a little luck. Your self-assurance talents can lead to achievements that you may not have otherwise even imagined. You don't have a great need for direction and support from others. This could make you particularly effective in situations that require independent thinking and action. Recognize and actively contribute the value of your self-assurance talents when confidence and self-control are crucial. Working with others who have self-assurance. If you are working on a team with this person, give him leeway in making decisions. He will neither want nor require handholding. Help this person understand that his decisions and actions do produce outcomes. He is most effective when he believes he is in control of this world. Highlight practices that work. Although this person's self-confidence can often prove useful, if he overclaims or makes some major misstatements, be sure to point these out immediately. He needs to clear feedback to inform his instincts. Significance. You want to be very significant in the eyes of other people. In the truest sense of the word, you want to be recognized. You want to be heard. You want to stand out. You want to be known, in particular, you want to be known and appreciated for the unique strengths you bring. You feel a need to be admired as credible, professional, and successful. Likewise, you want to associate with others who are credible, professional, and successful. And if they aren't, you will push them to achieve until they are. Or you will move on. An independent spirit, you want your work to be a way of life rather than a job. And in that work, you want to be given free rein, the leeway to do things your way. Your yearnings feel intense to you, and you honor those yearnings. And so your life is filled with goals, achievements, or qualifications that you crave. Whatever your focus, and each person is distinct, your significance theme will keep pulling you upward, away from the mediocre toward the exceptional. It is the theme that keeps you reaching. Significance sounds like this. Mary P., healthcare executive. Women are told almost from day one, don't be too proud, don't stand tall, that kind of thing. But that kind of thing. But I've learned that it's okay to have power. It's okay to have pride. And it's okay to have a big ego. And also that I need to manage it and drive it to the right direction. Kathy J., partner in a law firm. Ever since I can remember, I've had the feeling that I was special, that I could take charge and make things happen. Back in the 60s, I was the first woman partner in my firm, and I can still recall walking into the boardroom after boardroom and being the only woman. It's strange thinking back. It was tough, but I actually think I enjoyed the pressure of standing out. I enjoyed being the woman partner. Why? Because I knew that I would be very hard to forget. I knew everyone would notice me and pay attention to me. John L., physician. All through my life, I felt that I was on stage. I am always aware of an audience. If I'm sitting with a patient, I want the patient to see me as the best doctor he or she has ever had. If I'm teaching medical students, I want to stand out as the best medical educator they have ever had. I want to win the Educator of the Year award. My boss is a big audience for me. Disappointing her would kill me. It's scary to think that part of my self-esteem is in other people's hands. But then again, it keeps me on my toes. Ideas for action. Choose jobs or positions in which you can determine your own tasks and actions. You will enjoy the exposure that comes with independence. Your reputation is important to you, so decide what it should be and tend to it in the smallest detail. For example, identify and earn a designation that will add to your credibility. Write an article that will give you visibility, or volunteer to speak in front of a group. Who will admire your achievements? Share your dreams and goals with your family or closest friends and colleagues. Their expectations will keep you reaching. Stay focused on performance. Your significance, talents will drive you to claim outstanding goals. Your performance had better match those goals, or others might label you as a big talker. You will perform best when your performance is visible. Looking for opportunities that put you on center stage. Stay away from roles that hide you behind the scenes. Leading crucial teams or significant projects brings out your best. Your greatest motivation may come when the stakes are at their highest. Let others know that when the game is on the line, you want the ball. Make a list of the goals, achievements, and qualifications you crave and post them where you will see them every day. Use this list to inspire yourself. Identify your best moment of recognition or praise. What was it for? Who gave it to you? Who was the audience? What did you do to recreate that moment? Unless you also possess dominant self-assurance talents, accept that you might fear failure. Don't let this fear prevent you from staking claims to excellence. Instead, use it to focus on ensuring that your performance matches your claims. You might have a natural awareness of what other people think of you. You may have a specific audience that you want to like you, and you will do whatever it takes to win their approval and applause. Be aware that while reliance on the approval of others could be problematic, there is nothing wrong with wanting to be liked or admired by the key people in your life. Working with others who have significance. Be aware of this person's need for independence. If you do need to challenge her, understand that a confrontation may ensue. Acknowledge that this person thrives on meaningless recognition for her contributions. Give her room to maneuver, but never ignore her. Give this person the opportunity to stand out, to be known. She enjoys the pressure of being the focal point of attention. Okay, we're a half an hour in. We have 2 more to cover, and then we'll do my questionnaire live and the frequently asked questions next time. Okay, strategic. The strategic theme enables you to sort through the clutter and find the best route. It is not a skill that can be taught. It is a distinct way of thinking, a special perspective on the world at large. This perspective allows you to see patterns where others simply see complexity. Mindful of these patterns, you play out alternative scenarios, always asking, what if this happened? Okay, well, what if this happened? This recurring question helps you see around the next corner. There you can evaluate accurately the potential obstacles. Guided by where you see each path leading, you start to make selections. You discard the paths that lead nowhere. You discard the paths that lead straight into resistance. You discard the paths that lead into a fog of confusion. You cull and make selections until you arrive at the chosen path. Your strategy. Armed with your strategy, you strike forward. This is your strategic theme at work. What if? Select, strike. Strategic sounds like this. Liam C. Manufacturing plant manager. It seems as if I can always see the consequences before anyone else can. I have to say to people, lift up your eyes, look down the road a ways. Let's talk about where we are going to be next year so that when we get to this time next year, we don't have the same problems. It seems obvious to me, but some people are just too focused on this month's numbers and everything is driven by that. Vivian T, television producer. I used to love logic problems. When I was a kid, the ones where if A implies B and B equals C, does A equal C? Still today, I'm always playing out repercussions, seeing where things lead. I think it makes me a great interviewer. I know that nothing is an accident. Every sign, every word, every tone of voice has significance. So I watch for these clues and play them out in my head, see where they lead, and then plan my questions to take advantage of what I have seen in my head. Simon T, human resources executive. We really need to take the union on at some stage. And I saw an opportunity, a very good issue to take them on. I could see that they were going in a direction that would lead them into all kinds of trouble if they continued following it. Lo and behold, they did continue following it. And when they arrived, there I was, ready and waiting. I suppose it just comes naturally to me to predict what someone else is going to do. And then when that person reacts, I can respond immediately because I have sat down and said, okay, if they do this, we'll do this. If they do that, then we'll do this other thing. It's like when you tack in a sailboat, you head in one direction, but you jinx one way, then another. Planning and reacting. Ideas for action. Take the time to fully reflect or muse about a goal that you want to achieve until the related patterns and issues emerge for you. Remember that this musing time is essential to strategic thinking. You can see repercussions more clearly than others can. Take advantage of this ability by planning your range of responses in detail. There is little point in knowing where events will lead if you are not ready when you get there. Find a group that you think does important work and contribute your strategic thinking. You can be a leader with your ideas. Your strategic thinking will be necessary to keep a vivid vision from deteriorating into an ordinary pipe dream. Fully consider all possible paths toward making the vision a reality. Wise forethought can remove obstacles before they appear. Make yourself known as a resource for consultation with those who are stumped by a particular problem or hindered by a particular obstacle or barrier. By naturally seeing a way when others are convinced there is no way, you will lead them to success. You are likely to anticipate potential issues more easily than others. Though your awareness of possible danger might be viewed as negativity by some, you must share your insights if you are going to avoid these pitfalls. To prevent misperception of your intent, point out not only the future obstacle, but also a way to prevent or overcome it. Trust your insights and use them to ensure the success of your efforts. Help others understand that your strategic thinking is not an attempt to belittle their ideas, but it is instead a natural propensity to consider all the facets of a plan objectively. Rather than being a naysayer, you are actually trying to examine ways to ensure that the goal is accomplished, come what may. Your talents will allow you to consider others' perspectives while keeping your end goal in sight. Trust your intuitive insights as often as possible. Even though you might not be able to explain them rationally, your intuitions are created by a brain that instinctively anticipates and projects. Have confidence in these perceptions. Partner with someone with strong activators. With this person's need for action and your need for anticipation, you can forge a powerful partnership. Make sure that you are involved in the front end of new initiatives and enterprises. Your innovative yet procedural approach will be critical to the genesis of a new venture because it will keep its creator from developing deadly tunnel vision. Working with others who have strategic. Involve this person in planning sessions. Ask him, if this happened, what should we expect? If that happened, what should we expect? Always give this person ample time to think through a situation before asking for his input. He isn't likely to voice his opinion until he has played out a couple of scenarios in his mind. When you hear or read of strategies then that worked in your field, share them with this person. It will stimulate his thinking. Woo. Woo stands for winning others over. You enjoy the challenge of meeting new people and getting them to like you. Strangers are rarely intimidating to you. On the contrary, strangers can be energizing. You are drawn to them. You want to learn their names, ask them questions, and find some area of common interest so that you can strike up a conversation and build rapport. Some people shy away from starting up conversations because they worry about running out of things to say. You don't. Not only are you rarely at a loss for words, you actually enjoy initiating with strangers because you derive satisfaction from breaking the ice and making a connection. Once that connection is made, you are quite happy to wrap it up and move on. There are new people to meet, new rooms to work, new crowds to mingle in. In your world, there are no strangers, only friends you haven't met yet. Lots of them. Woo sounds like this. Deborah C., publishing executive. I have made best friends out of people that I've met passing in the doorway. I mean, it's awful, but wooing is part of who I am. All my taxi drivers propose to me. Marilyn K., college president. I don't believe I'm looking for friends, but people call me a friend. I call people and say, I love you, and I mean it because I love people easily. But friends, I don't have many friends. I don't think I'm looking for friends. I'm looking for connections. And I'm really good at that because I know how to achieve common ground with people. Anna G., nurse. I think I'm a little shy sometimes. Usually I won't make the first step out, but I do know how to put people at ease. A lot of my job is just humor. If the patient is not very receptive, my role becomes that of a stand-up comedian. I'll say to an 80-year-old patient, hi, you handsome guy. Sit up. Let me get your shirt off. That's good. Take your shirt off. Whoa, what a chest on this man. With kids, you have to start very slowly and say something like, how old are you? If they say 10, then say, really? When I was your age, I was 11. Silly stuff like that to break the ice. Ideas for action. Choose a job in which you can interact with many people over the course of a day. Deliberately build the network of people who knew you. Tend to it by checking in with each person at least once a month. Join local organizations, volunteer for committees, and find out how to get out on the social list of the influential people where you live. Learn the names of as many people as you can. Create a file of the people you know and add names as you become acquainted. Include a snippet of personal information such as their birthday, favorite color, hobby, or favorite sports team. In social situations, take responsibility for helping put reserved people at ease. Find the right words to explain that networking is part of your style. If you don't claim this theme, others might mistake it for insincerity and wonder why you are being so friendly. Partner with someone with dominant relator or empathy talents. This person can solidify the relationships that you begin. Your woo talents give you the ability to quicken the pulse of your surroundings. Recognize the power of your presence and how you open doors for an exchange of ideas. By simply starting conversations that engage others and bring talented people together, you will take performance up a notch or several. The first moments of any social occasion are crucial to how comfortable people will be and how they will remember the event. Whenever possible, be one of the first people others meet. Your capacity for meeting and greeting new people will help you to quickly put them at ease. Practice ways to charm and engage others. For example, research people before you meet them so you can talk about your common interests. Working with others who have woo. Help this person meet new people every day. She can put strangers at ease and help them feel comfortable with your organization. If you need to extend your own network, reach out to someone with strong woo talents. She will help you broaden your own connections and get what you want. Understand that this person values having a wide network of friends. If she is quick to meet and greet, then move on or do not take it personally. Okay, guys, that is it for today. We'll see you next time. Later.